Are you serious? Are you serious? You talk about a sound roaring from off the sun. Well, I want to thank Reverend Gary of Kentucky for getting this information to me. Powerful information, folks. But listen to this. There's a chance of flares. A fast-growing sunspot on the sun called AR 1875 has developed a beta gamma delta magnetic field that harbors energy strong explosions. NOAA or NOAA forecasters are estimating a 30% chance of an M-class solar flare and a 5% chance of an X flare to take place today, October the 23rd, 2013. Now, there was a solar tsunami on the sun yesterday with a radio burst of energy. It was sunspot AR 1875. It erupted yesterday, October 22nd, 2013, producing an impulse M4 class solar flare and a loud burst of shortwave radio static. And there was an amateur radio astronomer, Thomas Ashcraft of New Mexico. He was listening at the time of the eruption. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. It is powerful. It should show you the powerful force of God. Matter of fact, I'm going to play it for you. It lasts about 3 minutes. You'll listen to the static as it's playing. And simultaneously, I will also share with you 5 verses from the book of Joel that was prophesying of some major sounds as we approach the coming of the Lord and the day of the Lord, okay? So here we go right now. Here are the sounds from the sun captured on shortwave radio. I'm going to be reading from Joel chapter 2. Now it will get louder as the burst. Are you serious? Are you serious? Burst of the energy of God. What? Amazing sounds, energy. Listen. Blow you the trumpet in Zion. Sound an alarm in the holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Fire devoured before them, and behind them the flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them. Behind them is a desolate wilderness, yea, nothing shall escape them. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Blow you the trumpet in Zion, sound an alarm in the holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. Verse 5. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. That's an amazing, it was an amazing event. A burst of sound roaring from off the sun, so intense that it created an M class, an M4 class solar flare, and it was captured, the energy of it was captured on radio, shortwave radio, and recorded by Thomas Ashcraft of New Mexico. And the Lord did say that the sound would be heard as a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. In Joel chapter 2, verse 3, he says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. In verse 5, it's like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble. What is this sound? Well, and what does it represent? Well, Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Same for blow you the trumpet in Zion, and the sound and alarm in the holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. It's like the fire devouring before them and a flame burning behind them. It's like the noise of chariots on the top of a mountain, and that shall leap. It's like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble. Are you serious? I'm Pastor Paul Begley. We're living in the last days. And these signs, the Bible says, for those of you who say, oh, Begley, this has been going on, there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring. Look right now. Look at Syria. Look at the nation rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Look at 5 earthquakes in the last 5 days in Israel. Look at the oarfish that have washed up on the beaches of California 3 times. There was 20 of these sea serpents that washed up just before the massive earthquake on March 11/11 that hit Japan, the 5th largest earthquake in history, that shook the ground for 6 minutes, brought a tsunami in 6 miles, and left 6 nuclear reactors melting down in radiation. There were 4 oarfish that washed up on the shores of Chile just before the massive 8.8 earthquake hit there. Are we about ready to have a massive earthquake in California? Is this a harbinger? Even MSNBC News meteorologist Bill that was on this morning, he said, is this a harbinger of what's coming upon the land? And this guy, I mean, for him to use the word harbinger in reference, he talked about the oarfish in Japan and in Chile. We covered both those. Both of those earthquakes, by the way, were part of the 188-day earthquake cycle, just saying. So I'm asking you, are we seeing signs in the sun? So you got this, you got Typhoon Waifa, you've got Hurricane Manuel, Hurricane Ingrid, Hurricane Raymond. Right now, the sea and the waves are roaring. Earthquakes are in divers places. And you've got M-class flares on the sun being captured. Signs of Comet Ison, asteroids, meteorites, and comet dust with a timing just perfect with Hanukkah, anniversary of Israel becoming a state, and a star brighter than the Star of Bethlehem? Are you serious? I'm Pastor Paul Begley. I'd start thinking about my soul if I was you. I really would. I would start thinking about my soul. For the day of the Lord is coming. It's like a fire.